Hello and welcome to the Align Strength Training Blueprint. My name is Johnny Alimo. I am the head coach and founder of Align Strength Training. And this is a quick little preview into what to expect with our program, what you're going to get, all the results to come, and basically everything that you need to know about my training system and my program and why you should sign up and start to change your life ultimately. Okay, so we're going to get into it. This is me right here doing a deadlift at official Strongman Games, Strongman World Championship. Pretty cool stuff. Okay, so introduction, right? So at our core, we are a strength and health performance based kind of training system, okay? We strive to help individuals build strong, capable bodies while developing sustainable habits, a resilient mindset, and a long-term relationship with training and nutrition. The system is grounded in evidence-based practice, real-world coaching experience, and the lived reality of high-level performance sports. So that is my background, okay? I've competed high-level strongman before. I've gotten really strong. I've gotten really lean before. And I want to take those principles that I have learned and be able to apply them to you guys. Okay, these systems, they can scale all the way down to the very, very basic of, not having any gym equipment, not having any kind of structure with meal plans or anything like that. And we could still get progress. So really, who this system is for, it's for anybody who wants to get better, anybody who wants to improve their life, anybody who wants to invest into themselves, into a healthier future. That's who this is for. What do you need? You don't need much. I can make anything work depending on the equipment that you have, the budget that you have, the, nutrition access that you have. It is really scalable for everybody, right? So that's kind of what this third paragraph here touches on, which is, rather relying on rigid plans, quick fixes, or extreme approaches, we emphasize alignment between goals and actions, training, recovery, nutrition, lifestyle, discipline, and flexibility. This philosophy informs every aspect of the coaching system, from program design to client communication to a long-term planning. And that is key. The coach to client relationship is big, and I believe that relationship must be the first and foremost important thing in order for the progress to come. Otherwise, you just get a program and there is no connection. I want to build that connection with you. So I believe that's very important in the process. Okay, so a little bit more about our core philosophy and beliefs. We think that strength training is a very important physical attribute for everyday life, okay? For your confidence, for your metabolic health, for your injury resistance, longevity. Regardless of your starting point, right, we have a place for you, okay? Strength training is not treated as optional or aesthetic only, although those, the aesthetic part is a benefit of it, right? It is a main driver of health for many, many different things for you guys, okay? This system prioritizes movements that deliver the greatest return on investment while remaining adaptable to individual limitations and preferences. Again, touching on the fact that whatever ailment that it is you're dealing with, we have dealt with it 100 times over, and we're confident that we can help you get back to full health, okay? And also beyond, right? So this is not for people who are just primarily injured, but this is for people who are also strong and healthy and want to continue to build on that, right? So our approach is a little bit more about sustainability and long-term results rather than quick fixes, okay? We reject the all or nothing approach. You see it time and time again. Somebody can sign up for the new membership at the gym, come the new year, they go hard for a month or two, and then they kind of fall off. And then that's it. I would rather see about 75, 80, 85 to 90% consistency throughout the week for an extended period of time rather than 100%. Go really, really hard for a month or two, burn out, and then we never hear from you again, right? So that is what our biggest kind of talking point is with everybody, is think about the long term, be in it for the long term, because if you can string together a year of consistent effort, if you will see results. More so than if you do 2 months really hard and then stop, right? So I'd rather see you mess up a little bit, eat out on the weekends, and maybe, life happens, you have to skip a gym session or whatever the case may be. But as long as you're consistent and you still get a few workouts in, you eat overall good, and do that for a year, I promise you, you will see the results that you want to see. Guaranteed. Did I skip a page? No. Yeah, programs are adjusted based upon your training experience and movement. I'm sorry, your training experience and movement competency. I can't speak right now. Your injury history and current limitations, your lifestyle demands and recovery capacity, your physiological relationship with food and training. That one is very important, and your short-term and long-term goals. Okay, again, kind of any boat that you're in, we can deal with, right? So if you have a bad relationship with food, our first step might not even be to get you on a meal plan, get you prepping, start tracking your macros, start weighing your food. But it might just be have a better relationship with food, right? So how do we do that? Okay, maybe we don't cut out the things that you love, but we try to get you to make better choices within that realm of the stuff that you love, right? And kind of building on those habits. I think the habits are the most important thing, because there are going to be times of extreme motivation, and then there are going to be times of low motivation. And the extreme motivation is great because you can really push forward and make good progress and everything's dialed in and you're feeling awesome. But when things get tough, what do you resort to? Do you fall back to your old habits completely, or do you still have some kind of structure that you can resort to keep that train going a little bit? And that's what I think is the most important thing, and because that's where you're going to live probably a majority of the time. If you do commit to this for a year, is you're going to have those ups and downs. But as long as the downs aren't really that down, you're still doing a good job. Excuse me. So that is a huge part of our coaching philosophy. Kind of want to touch on one thing here again. Yeah, so part of building that relationship that I referred to a little bit earlier was building that relationship through the weekly check-ins. Okay, so those are big. It's a big benefit for you guys that you're getting on a phone call with a coach, 15 to 20 minutes one time per week. And we find that this is really great for accountability, sustainability, just really staying consistent, to be honest with you guys. So a lot of people don't offer that. We do, because we are invested into your results and we want to see you succeed just as much as we want to see ourselves succeed. So we physically are there with you 24/7, to be fair. So our training philosophy, this now refers to the weight training program side of stuff. What exactly do we look at, okay, and what are we trying to achieve? Mainly speaking, progressive overload is the name of the game. Okay, if you're not familiar with what progressive overload is, it's the concept or it's the theory of going into the gym and doing a little bit more every single time you're in the gym than you did the previous week. Okay, and that can come in many, many different ways. It doesn't necessarily need to be more weight on the bar or extra reps, right? It can be better technique, better form. It can be a condensity kind of style of training. So if it took you 60 minutes to complete a workout, and if you got it done now in 50 minutes, that is progressive overload. You're still progressing. It can be adding an extra rep every week. It could be adding an extra set every week. It could be decreased rest times. It can be more weight on the bar. It can be many, many different things. As long as we're seeing some kind of progress week to week, that is what we are striving for, okay? And like I said, we're more of a long-term strategy, long-term approach when it comes to these things. So these small wins week to week are really the highlight of what we're looking for. And if we could stack those, like I said, in the long run, you're going to see major, major progress from doing that, okay? So getting into kind of the weeds a little bit, we do block style programming, right? So typically things are laid out in 4, 8, or 12-week blocks. All that means on your guys' end is you're doing the same exercises 4 weeks in a row, 8 weeks in a row, 12 weeks in a row. Potentially, depending on what your demands and needs are, I find that this is the best way to sustain progress, to ensure progress, if you will, because you allow yourself and you give yourself the time to get good at a movement and master a movement. Take, for example, the barbell squat, okay? If you only have it in your program every so often, if it's only sprinkled in ever so often, you just simply don't have the time and the exposure to the program or the exposure to the movement to get good at doing the movement, okay? So that's why things stay in for a little bit. I'll give you time to get good, to progress on the movement, to learn how to, add a little bit of weight. And we're there with you, right? So we're there, doing video check-ins, doing video feedback. So you record yourself in the gym. If you want, you send it back to our coaches. We review it right there on the spot. We give you technique and form breakdowns and just kind of coach you through the movement. Make sure you're staying safe and make sure that everything is going smoothly. Movement quality and injury awareness, right? So assessment is an ongoing process, not a one-time event. Coaches consistently evaluate movement patterns, joint tolerance, fatigue signals. Exercises are selected and modified to maximize stimulus while minimizing unnecessary risk. That's what we just said, right? So we are there making sure that you're staying safe, making sure that you're doing the movements correctly, and ensuring that you're going to be getting stronger from week to week. All right. We're moving along here. Good. Training methodology, right? The same training principles are scaled across populations. So whether you're a competitive athlete and your focus is to get as strong as humanly possible, we can help you do that. If you're a lifestyle client and you just want to get generally more fit than you are today, generally in better shape than you were 3 months ago, 6 months ago, we can absolutely do that. We specialize in those two things. And regardless of your schedule, busy professional or stay-at-home mom, we have the programs for you. We can make any time frame work. I have people who only have 30 minutes a day. They go in the gym. They get a quick workout in. They get great results from it. They stay on track with everything else. And everyone's happy. Regardless of, like I said earlier, regardless of your schedule, your time demands, we have the answer and we have the solution for you. There is no scenario in which we cannot deal with. Okay. So now we get to the nutrition side of stuff, okay? So this is where things get a little bit more in depth, okay? How do we kind of go about nutrition plans for people and kind of how, we expect you to execute, okay? So, we teach you a little bit about calories, macronutrients, food choices, and the impact of body composition and performance. Rather than enforcing rigid meal plans, coaches emphasize understanding and ownership, right? So like we alluded to earlier, the most important step is to get the fundamental habits down. So are you eating a mainly whole foods diet? Are you eating a higher protein diet? Are you generally making better choices? Are you eating out on the weekends, and have we cleaned that up, right? So we eliminate binges, we eliminate the snacks, the appetizers, the desserts, the excessive drinking, right? Let's get all those habits in check first. Once those habits are in check first, or if you come to us and those habits are already in check, that's when we can get into a little bit more of the X's and O's of the nutrition, right? Okay, now let's set you up with a meal plan. Let's get a structured thing going. Let's track your calories, make sure you're in a calorie deficit, make sure that you're hitting your protein goals, right? So we have all of those tools necessary for you. In our app, which is the Align Strength Training app, you guys can download it in the App Store. We give you that option. You can see your calories day to day. You can track your food day to day. We can see that on our end, along with the nutrition plan that we assign to you. It gives you a lot of flexibility throughout the day. Whether it is you want to eat the same meals every day or you want a different meal every single day, we can do that, right? So that is kind of the very basics in which the nutrition side of things get to it. But this is a good start, right? So obviously first build on those habits and then getting a little bit more specific after that. So yeah, flexible macro-based framework, long-term body composition strategies, right? So like we alluded to earlier with the flexible macros, you have the option to track your macros in there along with the recommended foods that we give. We also have a ton of resources for you guys as well, right? So whether it is you need extra recipes throughout the week, you want high protein, low calorie desserts, you want high protein, low calorie lunches, breakfasts, dinners, we have it all. We have all the resources. We have plenty of recipes on hand for you guys to succeed, for you guys to make, for you guys to basically, this is the dream outcome and the dream image that I have for you in my head when it comes to a client who wants to lose weight. You eat exactly what it is that you want to eat. You just make better choices. You eat a higher protein, lower calorie version of all the foods that you love. You never feel like you're dieting. You never feel like you're hungry. You constantly feel full and satisfied all the time while eating tasty meals, and you get the result that you want to get. That is what we strive to do. I don't want you to live in a box. I don't want you to walk around with a meal prep container everywhere, weighing and tracking your food. I don't think it's realistic for the long term. I think it's okay for a short term goal, but I want you to have that flexibility. And that's what exactly you will get, is you will have that flexibility in your life without, you know, sacrificing your goals. You can still hit your goals, live your life, and I think it's a win-win on both sides, right? So that is, again, another part of the nutrition philosophy. So yeah, the built-in accountability that you get within this program is huge. Okay, we have so many touch points throughout the week that you never feel like, hey, this guy just gave me a program and then I haven't heard from him in 3 weeks. That is not what we're about. Like I said first, pretty much the first slide. One of the most important things is the client to coach relationship. Okay, so with that being said, the check-ins that we have in place are meant for you to communicate with our coaches so that they can know what's going on throughout the week, make the necessary changes that they need to make, and ensure that you're going to get the results that you want to get, right? So along with this comes weekly check-ins through the app. It's a quick 5-10 minute form. You just fill it out. Yes, no, rate things 1 through 10. This is a crucial kind of part of the process because, again, it lets us know what's going on with you throughout the week. It's just how we kind of track your weight from week to week, track your progress in the gym week to week. That check-in form gets responded to. Okay, so you will get a response from us, kind of reiterating again some of the things that we may have already touched on either earlier or later in the week, right? So that's a touch point right there. Another touch point is the weekly check-in call. 15 to 20 minutes, you're getting on a Zoom call with a coach. Okay, you're speaking face-to-face with a coach that is doing your plan for you. And again, this helps build that relationship, which I believe is really important. And because this is a virtual experience, we need to know how you're feeling. We need to know what's going on throughout the week. And that is just there's no other way to say it other than, that is the best way to ensure the progress. Along with that, right, we also have 24/7 communication with your coach and myself, okay? So you will have your coach's, number, the way of contacting him or her, and you will have my personal phone number as well. And you can text any question at any time to either one of us, and we will answer it, okay? It's never a bother. It's never a burden. It's our jobs. We love to do it. We love to help you out. And again, it's all about communication and building that relationship, okay? That's kind of what this whole slide talks about. So I believe that for you to get the best results possible, it's important that you get educated, okay? And that's kind of the coach's job. That's kind of my job, is to educate you on some stuff. Because the more information you have, the better you're going to be able to make the correct choices, okay? What do I mean by that? If you don't know what to look for when it comes to, getting a quick snack on the go or going out to dinner, at a work event or a family event, and you're trying to stay on track, you're trying to hit your goals. If you physically don't know what is good, what is bad, how are you going to make the right choice? It's impossible, right? Obviously, that's what we are here for, is to make those choices for you. However, again, the more information you have, the better choices you can make, right? So maybe, you have a quick 10-minute break in between work. You want to stop somewhere quick to get a snack. You're not sure what protein bar is good, what snack is good. Is this a good use of my calories? Is it not? That is part of the education that you will receive, is you will understand all of those questions that you have in your head. If you can go through with this process and fully commit yourself to it, your knowledge on fitness and nutrition will go up tenfold, because myself and all my coaches are very, very well educated when it comes to training, nutrition, lifestyle. So that is what we want for you. We want you to have that same level of education and understanding of food, because it's a very, very powerful thing. Once you understand the why of what is happening with you, right? What does that mean? You ever gain weight? You ever gain 5, 10 pounds unexpectedly, and you don't know why? And then sometimes you lose 5 pounds, you lose 10 pounds, and you don't understand why. When you understand the why, when you understand, damn, okay, I gained a couple pounds this week because I was covering my food with oil. I cooked all my food in oil this week. It's an extra like 200-300 calories easily a meal, which is like an extra 1,000 calories a day. No wonder I put on a couple pounds this week, right? Okay, makes sense. The same is true when it comes to nutrition. When you start to make better choices, you go, okay, I chose the, fat-free Greek yogurt as opposed to the full-fat Greek yogurt, and I saved 300 calories per serving on my yogurt, and, right, I did that consistently for 7 days, and damn, the scale reflects that. Okay, that makes sense. That's the why that I'm referring to. When you understand that why, things start to make more sense, okay? And that is the most powerful part of this journey, is you are in control. You control your own destiny. You want that scale to go down, it will go down. And you're going to know why. So yeah, long-term vision, raising the standard of online coaches. Like I said, a lot of coaches are not doing what we're doing here, okay? We are just as invested into this system, into your results as you are, right? We are there with you every step of the way. A lot of people you will get a program from, maybe you'll hear from them every so often, maybe you won't. That is not our outcome. That is not what we want to happen. That is not what we want to do. So we are hoping to raise the standard of online coaching for everybody so that they can meet the standard that we're at, right? We offer such an in-depth service. There's nothing that we can't handle. There's nothing that we won't do, right? Whether it's you're here to lose weight, gain weight, get more athletic, get stronger in the gym, get more aesthetic, whether you want to improve your health through supplementation, through, more holistic practices, get better sleep, be more energized throughout the day. We have the answer for everything, to be honest with you. And that is why we hold ourselves to such a high standard, and that's why, we believe that developing the relationship is so important, because it's not a one-size-fits-all, which is how a lot of online coaches kind of fit this, is here's the standard program, it goes out to everybody, here's the standard nutrition program, it goes out to everybody, and go do your thing. Whereas that's not what we do here, right? Everything is customized for you, to you, and we hope to raise the standard one day. So who is this for? The ideal aligned strength training client. We want you to show up consistently, okay? Even when motivation is low. What does that mean exactly? It's like I alluded to earlier. You need to have these habits that you fall back on. It's okay to not feel good. We don't expect you to feel your best 100% of the time. But we want to see that effort put in, okay? We want you to try. If we see the effort trying, we will be able to work with you, okay? We expect you to complete your weekly check-ins. We want you to have an open mind. We want you to be coachable, because there's a lot of feedback here, right? And it's not negative feedback. It's all in the name of positivity. But if you're not willing to adapt, it makes our job really, really difficult, right? So in order for us to do our job the best that we can, we need you to be open-minded and flexible. We want you to trust the process and be willing to apply what is recommended, even if that is long-term stuff, right? So a lot of times you guys want short-term results, and they're possible, but they're not sustainable. I don't recommend them. So you have to be in it for the long haul, okay? And we want you to be able to communicate with us and just be upfront and honest, okay? But like we say right here, we don't need to be perfect. You just need to be willing to try, put in effort, have some honesty, consistency, and are valued for more than talent or prior experience. Okay, so who this is not for, okay? It's very, very difficult to work with somebody who can't complete a check-in, doesn't respond to text messages great. Granted, this comes with a grain of salt, okay? This does not mean we are blowing up your phone 24/7, right? All it means is that we can't do our job if we don't hear from you. Okay, so we're not expecting to necessarily speak with you every single day. If you want that, it's there. You can take full advantage of it. If you're a busier person, you're not on your phone as much, you're at a job, whatever, you have kids, whatever the case may be, you don't have to be glued to your phone in order to get results, but you just have to be willing to respond a little bit. Because there's been situations where, we don't hear from a client for 3 weeks, and it's like, well, what are we supposed to do? We have no idea what's going on. How can we make a change to the program? How can we help them? We can't get in touch with them, right? So that's not what we want. We don't want somebody who's going to fall off the bandwagon like that. If you are struggling with motivation, if you are struggling with discipline, reaching out, please reach out, right? Because we have all the resources to help you. It's never a judgmental type of thing. That's not what it is. It's coming from a place of wanting to help you. Okay, somebody who is unwilling to change, right? So if we say do X, Y, and Z, and you say, well, I'm not going to do that, why are you here, right? It doesn't make any sense. So we want somebody, again, who is open-minded, who will respond, who will take the things into consideration, what we said. And it's always a give and take situation with clients and coaches, right? So it's not always like 100% whatever coach says, that's what goes. There's real life feedback that is needed for that. But that feedback is required from you. You need to be in communication with us in order to make it happen. Why we are different. Yep, this is what we alluded to earlier. Care beyond the program. We just care. we really, really do. We are there for you for everything. Like we said, there is no problem we can't solve, right? If you have an injury and you want to start to rehab your injury, we can do that for you. If you have a chronic, illness or disease and you need support with that, we can do that for you. If you are just somebody who's looking to get into more shape and get a little bit stronger, if you have a wedding coming up, you want to get in shape for your wedding, vacation, mindset coaching, nutritional habits, relationship with food. This is the whole package. We are all in one for one single price. This is who we are and what we do, okay? So that is why we are different. I am 100% confident that not many people are offering what we offer in the way that we do, and I can assure you that you will be happy with the results, with the service that is provided. Again, this is all stuff we touched on earlier. Weekly check-in system, right? We have all those things in play. And these are results that last, guys. Like I said, this is not a quick fix. This is not sign up for a month and get a workout program and bye-bye. No. Like, if you commit to this, the rest of your life will be changed. The rest of your life. It will be changed. It'll be different. You'll be grateful that you did it. And that's it. That is kind of it. Okay, so if you're interested in going forward with the next step, okay, I need you to reply to this text, reply to this email with I'm ready. If you say those words, I'm ready, we will send you over a link to book a call directly with me, okay? This is a quick 10 to 15 minute discovery call. On this portion of the call, we will talk about you. We will talk about what was needed in order for you to kind of get started from us. Think of this as a little bit of an evaluation. We're going to see if you're a potential candidate to sign up for the program, and we'll move forward with next steps with getting you on board, right? So if you're interested, reply back, I'm ready. We'll get you started. It'll be a quick link to book a call. It's one link. You click it. You choose a time on my calendar. I'll be there on the call. I'm excited to see you. I'm excited to talk to you. I'm excited to help you, okay? This is a serious commitment. This is a serious step towards the future of a better life, of better health, of long-term sustainable results. This is the solution to the problem that you've been having for a very long time, okay? So if you're ready to change your life permanently, reply back. I'm ready so that I know. We'll go forward with the next steps. But thank you for listening. My name is Johnny Alimo, and I'm out.